They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they watch you.
Must hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Mention ICPC and what really comes to mind is an agency that investigates, arrests, and prosecutes persons allegedly involved in bribery, abuse of office, and sundry corrupt acts. However, ICPC's mandate has a very strong and robust preventive slant. Where the Commission perceives corruption vulnerabilities in government MDAs, it has a duty to block their occurrence. Section 6B to D of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 vests in the Commission the power to examine the practices and procedures of public bodies, and where, in the opinion of the Commission, such practices, systems, or procedures aid or facilitate fraud or corruption, to direct and supervise a review of them. Welcome to the 20th anniversary series of Corruption Must Go, a production of the Public Enlightenment Department of ICPC. I am Hawa Garba. Today, on this edition, we shall focus on this preventive aspect of the Commission's mandate in the form of system study and review, corruption risk assessment, and also say a few things about anti-corruption and transparency units, known as ACTUs in Nigeria's MDAs, which are a corruption prevention strategy of the Commission. How has the Commission fared in the past 20 years of its existence in this regard?
As we observe safety measures, and support our health and frontline workers in fighting COVID-19, corruption, abuse of power, diversion, and misuse of public funds approved for mitigating the impact of coronavirus must be exposed. Be a coronavirus whistleblower. Report abuse in the management of COVID-19 fund and palliative to ICPC on toll-free number 0800 2255 4272 or AfricMail on 0811 877 1666. Email tips@corruptionanonymous.org. This message is from the African Center for Media and Information Literacy, AfricMail, in partnership with ICPC, supported.
Welcome back. Corruption has been described as being multifaceted. Therefore, the approach to tackling it must be multifaceted too. In 20 years, ICPC has successfully conducted system studies in a number of MDAs, corruption risk assessment in 6 seaports and 2 international airports. It is instructive to note that in the course of Commission system studies over time, there have been indications of systemic dysfunction, inconsiderate breaches of regulations, ignorance of proper procedures, and sometimes willful violation of laid-down rules of doing government business by public officials. Head of Planning, Research and Review Department of the Commission speaks further.
The Commission has also been empowered to instruct, advise, or assist any officer, parastatal or agency of government on ways by which they can reduce fraud or corruption in the system. So that's the power given to the commission by the Act. And it was based on this, the commission came up with one of the preventive tools being used at the moment, known as system study and review. So system study and review is one of the preventive tools designed by the commission to address the issue of corruption in the polity. And the commission has gone further to develop a manual known as System Study Manual, which is the major instrument being used by the commission to conduct system study and review of any organization, public institution. And in the manual, there are 4 thematic areas, namely structure, system and processes, culture, and stakeholders' perception. And what are the checklists under structure? You look at the administrative structure of the organization you want to study. You look at the operations of the organization. You look at the enabling act that actually set up that particular organization. If it is a parastatal or agency, a ministry, there is nothing like an enabling act. And you look at the organogram. You look at the issue of rotation of staff, delegation of authority, and we do the scoring is based on 100%. For structure, is 25%. For system and processes, is 45%. For culture, 20%. And stakeholder perception, 10%. And everything total 100%. And we equally categorize it into 4 categories. An organization can fall into 4 categories, 0 to 49. If you score anything below 50, between 0 and 49, that means the organization is non-compliant. From 50 to 69, that is partial compliance. 70 to 99, that is substantial compliance. And 100% is full compliance. The Commission since inception has conducted many system study and review. Last year alone, with the coming of the new board, we conducted the system review of the personnel cost and capital development cost of over 200 organizations. And the result was marvelous because the commission was able to restrain close to 42 billion naira. To be precise, 41 billion naira, 80 million that have been diverted or stolen by public or civil servants. So that is what we did. That was just last year alone. You understand, on personnel cost and capital development cost. So you can see the efficacy, because the beauty of system study is that you are going to, is an holistic approach. You look at every segment of a particular organization. Well, I'm happy that the commission is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, and I wish the commission all the best. And my prayer is that the Commission should continue to grow in leap and bounds and move from strength to strength.
Also, in line with the desire of ICPC to develop a potent strategy to effectively check corruption, the federal government considered and approved the establishment of anti-corruption and transparency units in ministries, departments, and agencies through a circular in October 2001. These units act as the eyes and ears of ICPC in MDAs and as such aid the mandate of the Commission. Actus have the potential of bringing reforms to the MDAs. Head Corruption Monitoring and Evaluation Department tells us more.
The essence is to educate staff, to instill integrity, transparency and accountability in the system. It is to ensure that government policies, regulations, directives are complied with. So this simply just the objectives of the unit. Yes, currently we have 446 actors in all the MDAs, and we are trying to inaugurate more because we know we have more MDAs. So we want to take the gospel as wide and as deep as possible to all nooks and crannies of the federal government's service. Well, ACTU has been very supportive. It's been a veritable tool in our operation, in our assignments. I'll give you a few of these merits of ACTU. One is that they give us intelligence, credible intelligence. This has led to the sacking of some chief executives. I won't mention them, them here. It has even led to the sacking off and trial of some ACTU members. So ACTU is not immune from corruption. So it has also assisted in training their staff. They conduct audits on procurement, on personnel. They assist us in assets verification and so forth. It is very helpful in fighting corruption within these MDAs. The essence of ACTU is to ensure that the internal working system of the MDA is going on well. And it comes from the institutional theory of corruption, that the personnel, the laws governing the agency, the directives and so forth are complied with. And when they are complied with, the institution grows. Well, the compliance scorecard, like the name connotes, is a tool. It's one of our preventive tools. It is used to measure the compliance of these MDAs to statutes, to regulations, to ethical and organizational culture of the MDA. It has three key indicators. One is the administrative system. Second is the management system. And third is the financial system. So if you look at these three indicators, they form the bulwark. They form the core of the institutions. So if any of this fails, you have problems. So it's like a scorecard. We measure you. Do you comply with having a mission statement? Do you have a vision? Because these are just the core values. If you don't have a vision, I wonder where you're going to. You don't leave your house in the morning and just start walking around. Same with the organization. So you have a direction you're going to. Do you have whistleblowing support systems? Do you have audit verification system? How do you sanction misconduct? How do you reward hard work? So these are things that we measure, and it helps to build agencies. So when these things are not looking, are not in place, or are not considered, gradually agencies disintegrate, they fall apart. So in 2019, we had 280 MDAs. 200. We deployed, yes, it's in 280 MDAs, and it was really fruitful. It has helped to enhance integrity in the MDAs. Then currently we are deploying in 350 MDAs. Well, I congratulate the Commission on this great milestone. We pray that the Commission will contribute to drive its policy of anti-corruption, promote integrity and transparency in Nigeria.
In the same vein, ICPC, working with some partners and with funding from UNDP and UNODC, carried out corruption risk assessment exercises of some Nigeria seaports, namely Lagos in Apapa and Tinkan, Port Harcourt Port, One, Calabar and Warri in 2013. Also on 9th December 2014, ICPC signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Federal Ministry of Aviation to carry out CRAs in this sector, and specifically followed it up with CRA studies of 2 international airports, namely Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, and Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, and other agencies. What does CRA entail and what were the outcome? ICPC spokesperson explains.
Corruption risk assessment is actually an examination or study of procedures and processes of government organizations. And the aim of corruption risk assessment is to find out where there are risks, gaps, or loopholes that can give rise to corruption. In a corruption risk assessment study, you are not looking for actual cases of corruption. You are looking at the entirety of a system to find out whether there are loopholes that people can exploit, opportunities or threats to the system, to the assets of a system. It's a systematic study that looks at the processes and procedures of organizations, identifies these threats, and goes ahead to prescribe risk mitigation measures, which we call integrity plans. That is what corruption risk assessment is all about. In 2013, ICPC conducted a corruption risk assessment of the port sector. It covered all the seaports in Nigeria, including several port agencies. The idea was to find the corruption risks from the time a ship berths in the Nigerian ports to the time it discharges its cargoes. So we did this in collaboration with port agencies, the customs, and all the agencies that work in the port sector. This is a report, and that was what we were able to achieve in 2013. In 2014, we conducted a corruption risk assessment of MDG-related MDAs in education, health, and water resources. These are copies of the reports of that study, Volume 1 and Volume 2. In 2015, we conducted a corruption risk assessment of 2 international airports, the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja, and Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. This is a report of that study. And again, in 2016, we conducted a corruption risk assessment of the e-governance systems in Nigeria, the TSA, the IPPIS, and the GIFMIS. These are the reports. This is the main report, and this is a summary of the reports. The outcome of the corruption risk assessment in the port sector has been tremendous. But I want to talk about two major outcomes, which are the Port Service Support Portal, launched by the current Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, in 2016, June, whereby a portal was developed for all ship agencies to consult in case they need to know what the requirements for betting in Nigeria, what the requirements are. The Vice President launched the PSSP, as we call it, and anybody can access it, pssp.gov.ng. All the port agencies got their standard operating procedures, SOPs, together, and the committee that has been working on this corruption risk assessment tried to harmonize them together, and this has been successfully done. We now have harmonized SOPs, which means that the shipping companies that bet in Nigeria can go on the Port Service Support Portal, take a look at all they are supposed to do, the process from beginning to the end, find the required documents even before they leave their countries to come to Nigeria, and make sure that all their documents are in order before coming. So it has really helped a lot to ease port procedures in Nigeria. That is a major outcome of the port sector corruption risk assessment conducted in 2013. ICPC is 20, and my wish for the commission is to appreciate all the staff, every single one of them that has helped the commission to get this far. From the management level, board members, all the directors, the rank and file, it's all due to your work that we have come this far. And I want to say kudos to you. Well done. Keep it up. We'll do better in the next 20 years. Thank you.
As the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. ICPC recognizes the need to prevent corruption rather than trying to catch corrupt persons after the funds have been embezzled. With corruption prevention, money is saved by government, and this can actually be utilized for development projects that will impact on the lives of citizens.
As we observe safety measures, and support our health and frontline workers in fighting COVID-19, corruption, abuse of power, diversion, and misuse of public funds approved for mitigating the impact of coronavirus must be exposed. Be a coronavirus whistleblower. Report abuse in the management of COVID-19 fund and palliative to ICPC on toll-free number 0800 2255 4272 or AfricMail on 0811 877 1666. Email tips@corruptionanonymous.org. This message is from the African Center for Media and Information Literacy, AfricMail, in partnership with ICPC, supported
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
That will be all on this edition of the program. Remember, you can make your reports, suggestions, and inquiries on any of the toll-free numbers shown on the screen, or visit our website www.icpc.gov.ng. Another 20th anniversary edition comes up next week. Let's all join hands to break the chain of corruption in Nigeria. Remember to stay safe and see you next week, God willing.